The real reason Elon Musk bought Twitter is so much bigger than you even realize. Now, it's been all over the news. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Headlines everywhere that the bird is free, but everyone has it all wrong. The headlines and the talking heads on mainstream media are all focused on the wrong ideas and the wrong motivations, and they're missing one of the biggest breakthroughs in technology and the financial system we might see. It's a giant catalyst, and people are just missing it. It's because of all the threat to our democracy and the free speech talk. So in this video, I'm going to break down what Elon Musk's Twitter takeover is really about. We're going to look at his start before PayPal. We're going to look at what the media said, what Elon himself has said, but way more importantly than any of that, we're going to look at what he is actually doing, what he's actually done, what all this means, and of course, what opportunities this has for us if we're paying attention. So let's go. All right, welcome back. I am so excited to be going on this journey with each of you. I know a lot of people are scared. They're worried. Everything's crashing, but not us. We see what's going on. We understand the play-by-play, and we are navigating this perfectly because we're paying attention. We are going to make it. All right, now let's dive into Elon Musk's true intentions of Twitter. This is what I'm talking about. We can see behind the scenes. We can see what is happening when most everyone has got this wrong. As a matter of fact, all of mainstream is missing this. I haven't seen anybody dig into this story, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Maybe I'm just the best investigative journalist in the world. I don't really know. But let's take a look. All right, so Elon's true intentions. Does he really want to destroy the democracy? Does he really want to save the democracy? Does he want to turn Twitter into a hellhole where it's full of hate, like a lot of people say? Does he just want to bring the President Donald Trump back? I don't know. But let's see. Everybody is obsessing over his motives. Why would the richest man in the world need to buy Twitter? He must have some secret ulterior motive, right? Well, we can see that a lot of people are saying it's this dangerous right wing. He's going to promote these ideas that are going to destroy the world as we know it, as a matter of fact. Just one quick search online shows you all the results right here. Elon Musk's acquisition poses a risk to our democracy. Quote, a real threat to our democracy. Musk buys Twitter. Celebs vow to quit Twitter after Elon Musk takeover. Elon Musk is a threat to our democracy, cries Elizabeth Warren. Elon Musk bid for Twitter poses a threat to our democracy, says CSU professor. Wow. A threat to our democracy. Now, this is a big, big, big deal, and they are completely missing out on this, a threat to our democracy. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I do want to just pull this point out real quick. What does that mean, a threat to our democracy? What is a democracy? So the definition of a democracy is a government by the people. So if it opens up free speech, and people like that, and they love to have free speech, wouldn't that be a democracy? It's a government by the people. It says that the power is vested, the supreme power is vested in the people. So that's when the people have the power. The supreme power is vested in the people. Having the ability to express our ideas and free exchange of ideas gives us power, vested in the people, and exercised by them directly or indirectly. So we should be able to exercise our ideas directly through a system of representation. So we should have this. So when they say it's a threat to our democracy, what does that even mean? Because to me, it seems like the very definition of the word democracy is for us to have this power. It says the common people, you and I, we're common. The common people, the absence of hereditary or arbitrary class distinctions or privilege. So it's not for just the leaders to be able to say what they want, or just one political party to say what they want, or just one person to control the narrative, like Gavin Newsom here in California says that any doctor that speaks out against the consensus is now a criminal. But it's not about one class, an arbitrary class, hereditary class, or privileged class. It's about the common people. It's the absence of those people is the democracy. So all this talk about the threat to our democracy, I don't even know what they're talking about. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. All right, let's jump in. So Elon Musk has told us what he's doing. All right, but it's only part of it. It's actually something much bigger. It's a massive opportunity for us. All right, so here's Elon Musk on his Twitter. He says, "Dear Twitter advertisers," and he put out this whole thing. I want to pull a couple pieces out of that real quickly, even though I don't think it's his true motivation. I think it's part of it. It's part of it. Okay, so he said all this. "I wanted to reach out to you personally. Here's what I'm saying. The reason I acquired Twitter is because it's important to the future of civilization." So it's very important to civilization. Now, what he's saying isn't the biggest piece. What he's doing is, I'm going to show you what he's doing. To have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. Free speech, where we debate ideas and the truth is found through open and honest debate. So he says we need to have a town square that has that. He went on to say that I didn't do it because it would be easy. I did it to try to help humanity, who I love. He says he did it to help humanity. And this is what he's saying. I'm going to show you what he's actually doing, and I would say I agree with what he's doing, and you will too when I show it to you. He says here, Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape. So all those people say it's a threat to our democracy, and it's only going to lead to hate and all this stuff. He says right here, look, obviously it can't become a free-for-all hellscape. He says that. Look, you can't do that. Where anything can be said with no consequences. So look, it's not going to be that. All those things they want to tell you it is, it's not going to be that, in his own words. It must be a warm and welcoming to all where you can choose your desired experience. All right, that's what he said. I like to go to the source to see what did they say. But what I also like to do is see what are they doing? What are the actions? And that is what we're going to take a look at right here. I'm excited to share this with you. If you guys are liking this, make sure to click that like button right there. Oh, and hit that subscribe button so you know when I put new videos out as well. All right, the real reasons, we have to go back to the beginning. We have to go back to the origin. To find out what something is, go all the way back to the beginning, the creation. So we have to understand his past. Now, this is Elon Musk when he was a young guy back in 1999, about 23 years ago. Notice he didn't have a lot of hair. That's a side point. He's got a lot more hair today. But here he is talking about his PayPal. He started PayPal. This is where he got his start with what's known as the PayPal Mafia. We're going to come back to that in a minute. His partner, Peter Thiel, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But he started with PayPal. Okay, it's important to understand his past with PayPal. And what were they trying to do with PayPal? Now, you might not understand. So again, let's go back to the very beginning to see what were they actually trying to do with PayPal. All right, well, as I said, his partner at the time was this guy right here, Peter Thiel. Now, Peter Thiel is also one of the richest guys in the world, not as rich as Elon, but of course he made a lot of money as a PayPal founder and lots of other deals he's done. Now, the one thing about Peter is I saw him speak at the Bitcoin conference 2022 in Miami this year, and he just really came across as somebody who's really based. Like, he really gets this political structure very well. Then I got the opportunity to meet him. I was at a very small event with Alex Epstein, the author of Fossil Future, and he was there with him, and I got to go up and talk to him. And what I found out is that him and Alex actually met at an Ayn Rand Institute meeting in San Francisco. Now, if you know who Ayn Rand is, then you would understand why he is so based. If you don't know who Ayn Rand is, you better get caught up. Google her, read the book Atlas Shrugged, and read everything else that she said. All right, I'm a big Ayn Rand fan as well. So you understand the ideology, which is very pro-freedom, very pro-responsibility. We should take responsibility for ourselves. We don't need the government to control us and tell us what to do. All right. So that's who they are. That's where they came from. But they also told us, or they also knew that technology would change money as we know it, and they were on a path to use the technology to do just that. As a matter of fact, let's listen to this speech from Peter Thiel back in 1999. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
How do you move from these physical dollars to electronic dollars? I think the basic technology is going to take place on the internet. I think the specific platform in the emerging world is going to be on a cell phone platform. Internet-enabled cell phones are just getting rolled out right now. The numbers are projected to grow from about 10 million internet-enabled cell phones today to about 1 billion in 5 years.
All right, so you heard right there, 1999, he's talking about the rise of the internet and how it's going to grow through mobile phones. Now, we didn't have the iPhone until 2007, about 8 years after he made this video. But you notice he talked about how fast mobile phones would reach adoption. And look at where we're at today. Here we are, about 6.5 billion people in the world have a smartphone, an internet device, internet phone like he's talking about, which is about 83% of the world, which is typically considered full adoption. About 80% is full adoption. It says how many people have mobile phones? About 91% of people in the world have a mobile phone. So not all of them are smartphones, but his vision has come true that he had back in 1999. Now, let's hear the rest of what he had to say.
These people will have access to their bank accounts, and it will be very easy for them to move money into an account in a safe jurisdiction where the banks are not politically controlled, and they will basically be able to completely dollarize the economy. There will be no need to have any rubles or renminbi, and it will be non-traceable. No matter how illegal the Chinese Communist government says it is to hold US dollars, you will have a password on your cell phone, and the only way to stop this process would be literally to shut down the telecommunications network.
All right, so what he's talking about is when everybody has a phone connected to the internet, we could then use that phone to manage our own money and do payments back and forth with each other without the need for banks, and governments would not be able to stop it without taking down the entire phone and internet. All right, that was what he said in 1999. Now, at the time, it wasn't necessarily true, but today, we've seen such a thing. He predicted they'd be unstoppable. That's part of what they started PayPal for, but at the time, the vision wasn't able to be realized. Now let's take a look and see exactly what that vision is. Now, again, this came from his speech he gave at the Bitcoin conference. The goal, this is one of his slides, the goal of PayPal was to be an entire new payment network. All right, so right now, this is the system that we have. Here's the US Treasury. They sit right here, all right, and then they devalue US dollars and they give us devalued dollars, debased dollars. That's why inflation is so high, because they're debasing it. And then we give the money back to them and it goes in this circular fashion. What they had envisioned is a whole new system over here that would be outside of the banking system. The problem is that's not what ended up happening. They ended up just being a funnel like here. So basically what happened is they became just a payment network that was still built inside the existing payment system that we have today. So the goal was to create a brand new, a parallel society, a parallel structure, financial structure over here. But instead, it didn't work out that way. It turned out to be just a different way to make payments inside the existing structure that we have today. Why? Because the technology wasn't far enough advanced. It didn't advance fast enough. Both of them left the company. They never got to see that vision come to fruition until maybe now. So let's check this out and see what we have to say. Now, this is another slide from his presentation. So this is another slide. So this is where they wanted to be over here, PayPal 1999, really be the value, the new payment network. But where they ended up was just making payments faster, velocity, and so they ended up there. All right, now let's take a look at, I want to show you this too, in case you missed it. I talked about this where PayPal said that they could fine you $2,500 if you post anything online that's misinformation. So you go online and you post some misinformation, and then PayPal takes $2,500 out of your account. Now, in case you missed it, they announced it, I think October 7th, October 8th, they put out a press release that said, oh, sorry, accident, we didn't mean to send that out. That got out by accident. We didn't really mean that. But in case you missed it, October 27th, it's been reinstated. So this is what PayPal is today. So they had a vision for making it a brand new payment network for freedom and for humanity, but instead it's come this authoritarian regime where now they want to fine $2,500 US per violation, which is directly debited from your PayPal account. So that's a little side note. Now let's get back into what they are doing. All right, so what is the real play here? What is Elon Musk really trying to do? All right, well, let's dig in. Okay, the real play. We know that payments, the ability to send money back and forth, payments are in Elon's blood. That's where he started. As a matter of fact, what we can see right here is we see a picture of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel holding this up, but look what's on the card right here, all right? On this card is X. So Elon Musk had the idea to create a system, a product called X, and it was part of PayPal, and he had the domain for X. Now you can see what they're holding up. Here's a zoom in of it. It's a card with an X on it. So that was the original vision for PayPal. Now when he started PayPal, that domain, X, was owned by PayPal, and when he left PayPal, the domain name X stayed with PayPal. But what we can see, again, not what he's saying, what is he doing? What we can see here is that in 2017, July 10th, 2017, Elon Musk tweeted, "Thanks PayPal for allowing me to buy back X.com. I have no plans right now, but it has a great sentimental value to me." Okay, interesting. Now we don't know how much he paid for it. Estimates are somewhere maybe in the $6 to $10 million range just for a domain name. He has no plans for it right now. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that. Now, we know that he bought that back. Now we know he's buying Twitter for free speech, right? That's what it's all about, free speech. Okay, well, what's interesting is when he announced that he was going to buy Twitter in May of this year, he gave a pitch deck to the investors, and Elon Musk reportedly wants to launch a new Twitter product called X. Very interesting. So he started a project called X, which was for payments, that then got rolled into PayPal, which he lost. He bought it back in 2017 with no plans, apparently. Now he's buying Twitter, and now he wants to launch a new Twitter product called X, which he projects would have 104 million subscribers by the year 2028. All right. Now, we can see that if we keep going, it says right here inside the article, Elon Musk's aspirations for Twitter include a mysterious new project named X. We talked about that. There was an investor presentation. You can see it on New York Times. Project X would launch in 2023, it's next year, and bring in 9 million users within the first year. The pitch deck estimates Musk projects 104 million users by the end of 2028. All right. Then what we can see here, according to an investor document obtained by the New York Times, Musk predicted Twitter will bring in $1.2 billion in payments revenue by 2028. So this new product X, which is going to have 100 million users, is supposedly going to bring in $102 billion in payment revenue. Are you starting to catch the theme here? The payments are in his blood. That's what he's been focusing on. Now, let's look at the team that's around this, all right? The team that he's put together. Now, we have the PayPal Mafia, which is the guys that originally helped him found this. And we have a couple other players hanging around. So who was the founder and the CEO of Twitter until just recently? Of course, that is Jack Dorsey. Now, if we look at this a little bit, we can see here the pitch deck that we're talking about where he pitched this product X to the team. The pitch deck also describes a payments business, all right, that Musk estimates would produce $15 million in revenue by next year. Both Musk and Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey have experience in digital payments. It's starting to get interesting. It says Dorsey is the CEO of Square, which is the largest digital payment service, I believe, at this point. All right, now let's hear directly from Jack Dorsey a little bit. Now, this video is actually over a year old. This was at Bitcoin conference in 2021. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
What does Bitcoin have anything to do with human rights? Isn't it just about investment?
Not for me. Like, Bitcoin changes absolutely everything. And what I'm drawn to the most about it is what it represents. I don't think there's anything more important in my lifetime to work on, and I don't think there's anything more enabling for people around the world.
All right, so what's interesting to hear Jack Dorsey say is that it's about human rights. It's not about an investment, it's about human rights. Now, what was Elon Musk saying why he bought Twitter? For humanity, right? He said because he loves humanity. What's Jack Dorsey saying? Bitcoin is the most important thing for humanity, for human rights, not as an investment. Very interesting. Now, I have another clip from Jack Dorsey. Let's hear what he has to say right here.
Whatever I can do, whatever my companies can do to make it accessible to everyone is how I'm going to spend the rest of my life. Like, if I were not at Square or Twitter, I'd be working on Bitcoin. If it needed more help than Square and Twitter, I would leave them for Bitcoin. But I think, I believe both companies have a role to play. And
so there you have Jack Dorsey talking about he would leave Twitter to work on Bitcoin full-time if it needed it, which he did leave Twitter. And now he said he's dedicated the rest of his life to working on payments on Bitcoin as Twitter's previous founder. And now we have Musk as the new owner of Twitter with this mysterious product X, which is in payments. Are you starting to connect the dots? Now, on top of that, one of the big investors into the new Twitter takeover of Elon Musk is the Binance founder, CZ. Binance being, I think, maybe close to, if not arguably, the largest cryptocurrency exchange, is one of the big investors in that. We have David Sachs. He's from the original PayPal Mafia. He's very into cryptocurrencies. Also Shrimram, also big into cryptocurrencies, all from the original PayPal Mafia. Are you starting to see he's assembled the team for digital payments? Is it making sense now? Let's take a look at this right here. We can see it says, Musk's Twitter play seems to be a reincarnation of Libra. If you remember Libra, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg wanted to launch his own payment network. He was going to create it over the Facebook network because they have all the billions of users, but the government shut it down. Now, Twitter can succeed where Facebook failed because its payment backbone is the Bitcoin Lightning Network, a mostly decentralized structure that doesn't have the same political baggage as Facebook does. Nobody wanted Facebook to have control over money, but because Twitter is using Bitcoin, which is a completely uncontrolled, decentralized application, they think it can have better luck. All right, now, I think this is a game changer. All right, Musk wants to do the best for humanity. Everyone's focused on the free speech or the hate speech or the divisiveness. He said that he wants to do it for humanity. What did Jack Dorsey say? He wants to do it for human rights. They both are working on payments, and they're both working it together, at least it looks like. Now, Elon Musk, what's important to understand is this is a big opportunity, and I think the market understands. So from the time when Elon Musk announced he was going to take over Twitter, the market is up 9%. I'm sorry, Twitter is up 9% since he announced it. However, if you remember, then he was going to do it, then he wasn't going to do it, and then he was, and then he wasn't, then he said it's over, and then the Twitter board actually was going to sue him and said, no, you have to do it. So from the time that happened and he agreed to do it again was right here on this date, and Twitter is up 42% since he's agreed to do the deal. 42%. At the same time, during the same period, Facebook is down more than 50%. Netflix is down, Google is down, Apple's even down in the same time frame, and this is up 41%. Why? Because the smartest money in the world realizes what's going on. It's now time for Elon Musk to enact his vision that he had all the way back pre-PayPal in the Product X days. PayPal didn't achieve it, as you saw the vision that they had with Peter Thiel. He lost the Product X. He's got the name back in 2017. He thought about launching his own version of Twitter. He bought Twitter. He's assembled the dream team, and it looks like Twitter is the very next step in the vision. At least that's the dots I'm putting together. Maybe you see it completely differently, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. So you can leave me a comment and let me know, Mark, you've completely misread the situation, or shoot, Mark, that was some good research. Let me know what you think. Of course, as always, give me a thumbs up on this video. If you don't like it, you can give me thumbs down. But at least tell me why in the comments down below. And hit that subscribe button. Come on. I need to get these subscribers up. You can help me out. Share this video with somebody you think that could use it. And that's what I got. All right, to your success. I'm out.